if you have a strategy and your occupancies are set high, and we have budgets that we work from, and those are the measurements that we use. If you see that you're in a market and you're really struggling at the occupancies and you're demanding from a leadership role that you hit those occupancies and people are struggling, there has to be a little bit of a meeting on the bridge where you have realistic set points or targets that you're looking at, where you can find your wins and you can build and strengthen the confidence in your teams that, yes, we're struggling, but also we're making movement and we're succeeding. And I think if you have those little wins, they build upon each other, and then you build confidence. And then it takes over more or less like a flywheel. The more momentum you get, the stronger you get, the more confident people get. And there needs to be a certain level of realism of where you are strategically and where your teams are and where they're trying to meet you. So I think it goes both ways. Look, you can listen, but if there's no action behind that listening, you're just talking in the air and it doesn't really mean a lot. And as a leader, you lose a lot of credibility when you don't act or you don't implement or you don't pivot. There's been times in my career when I've been, told that I pivot too much or I move around too much. That movement and me pivoting is listening to my teams and listening to what they're going through on the ground. And I have an ear for that because I came up the way that I did. I worked on the maintenance side. I worked on the leasing side. I was a property manager, regional. So I've worked in those different capacities where I understand the dynamics of what people go through. Our intention is that we take the time and we hire the right people. If we have any assistant managers that are listening, keep going. Keep going. It was, out of all my positions in property management, it was my most difficult. I came from leasing, accepted an assistant manager position in Dallas. I worked for a manager named Kathy Sorensen. And it was, as I was going through it, it was the worst experience I ever had. She made me do everything. And what she did is I was going through that experience without knowing it. She positioned me to be successful for the rest of my career. She put me in a place where when I was promoted to a manager, I knew how to do everything. And as frustrating as that was, it was priceless for me. And that's the mindset that I have with assistant managers that I work with today. I interact with them on the level that they're in a training mode and they're there to make mistakes and to learn from those mistakes. And it just makes them better at what they do. And it positions people. Everybody has their own journey in this life. Everybody. We're not the same. We're not walking the same path. We're not experiencing the same things. And you know what? The beauty of that is it's on purpose. And you have to look at somebody and look at skill sets and look at the chemistry of what you're trying to build, right? My journey is I started off in maintenance and then I went into leasing and then I managed assets and then I was a regional and a VP, and that wasn't done with one company. But the beauty of that is I got to experience different companies and some extraordinary leaders in this industry, and I've learned from them. And I've taken all those experiences, and it's who I am today. And I get to experience the good and the bad, what to do and what not to do. If I push this button, that's going to happen. If I push this button, that's going to happen based on my experiences. So when I'm looking at resumes, I'm looking at their experience. And then that folds into what they tell me. Technology is cool, but it's also can paralyze you, right? Looking at all this stuff. Look, I have the mindset of it's people first, and it's just doing the fundamentals of things. And then you're trying to compete with other companies. So you've got, YieldStar, you've got companies that help you with your payables, and we're now centralizing our leasing more and more. There's a lot of options out there for people. And I think, organizations should take more time looking at what they have and making it better. And that shiny thing that people jumped at and brought into their organization. A lot of thought and a lot of effort went into that. And now it's partnering with that company, whoever that is you're working with, to make that system the best system for you and others. But there's so many options out there right now.